Hey guys, what is going on? So I just wanted to answer some common questions that I get about turkesterone versus ecdysterone. So people are like, which one should I take? Which one is going to give me the best results in this aspect or this aspect? Should I stack them? How should I dose them, etc.? So I'll try and answer all those questions in depth so that this can be a guide for people who are looking to start. I answer these questions constantly throughout the day. Hopefully this can just be a reference video where I can go more in depth so that you guys can get the answers that you're looking for. Okay, so turkesterone is going to be the one that I start with. I'm just going to say right off the bat, in terms of which one should you try, turkesterone is more expensive to run. Okay, so this is going to just immediately turn a lot of people off, and people kind of go different routes with this. Maybe they end up trying ecdysterone because turkesterone is too expensive. Maybe they underdose their turkesterone because they want to save money and therefore they run an inadequate dose and they don't see results. Or they try to go for a suboptimal brand who is not complexing their turkesterone, and then they're comparing apples to oranges because they're like, I bought Greg Doucette's Turk and it didn't work. And it's like, well, this is the Turk that I'm talking about, which is from Gorilla Mind. Okay, so I've been taking this for over a year. I've been logging my experience with it. And in the entire time that I've been doing that, after, getting feedback from hundreds of people, I've yet to find a brand that is consistently producing results for other people. Now, I'm not saying that all their brands out there are BS. I know for a fact, like Greg Doucette's turkesterone, I would assume that it is a 10% standardized turkesterone, but it does not claim to be complexed. And that is a very significant factor. Okay, so this is a harsh reality that people don't want to hear, but the supplement industry can put whatever they want on these labels. Okay, so you ultimately have to trust the company that you're buying from. Do I trust Gorilla Mind? Absolutely. I have been buying from Gorilla Mind for a while. Now I currently am sponsored by Gorilla Mind because I was such a huge fan of their products. So considering that, take what I say with a grain of salt. But many companies have not only copied this label, copied the design, put this exact thing on there when they could not afford to do that with the prices that they're giving because they're not selling a legitimate product. Now, there are other turkesterones out there that I 100% believe are legitimate turkesterone. It's just that they are not actually complexed. And some companies just take the, I'm going to try and say this without stumbling, hydroxypropyl beta cyclodextrin, which is what this is complex with. They take that, the turkesterone, they mix it in a vat and they say it's complex. Okay, this is a supramolecular complex that houses the turkesterone in there so that it actually can survive and be orally bioavailable, because the bioavailability of this is not that good. It is standardized to 10%, and so you're not getting a huge amount of turkesterone whenever you take it. This is regardless of the brand, and so when you actually complex it properly, it makes all the difference. Okay, so that is why I've found that it is very important to get turkesterone via Gorilla Mind. Now, people can say, okay, you're sponsored by them. I bought this for like 8 months without being sponsored with my own money. And again, I've been getting feedback for over a year from hundreds of people, and not a single other brand of turkesterone has seemed to be effective. Now, that is not true with ecdysterone. So this ecdysterone is a 98% complex ecdysterone. That being said, I've taken ecdysterone that is complex when I doubt it is, and I've taken ecdysterone that is not even claiming to be complex, and they all work, okay? This works the best. This is the best bang for your buck, but if you want to try another brand of ecdysterone, feel free. There are quite a few out there that work. I've gotten a lot of feedback. A lot of different companies provide legitimate ecdysterone. Now, do they have the exact percentage that they're claiming? I don't know. I obviously trust the companies that I deal with, but again, I've tried other companies and the ecdysterone does work. Okay, so that is just the main thing that I want to say to people. If you cannot afford to buy this turkesterone, I just would not even bother. If you can afford to buy this, but you can't afford to run a proper dose, don't buy it. I get so many people who buy this, underdose it, don't take it long enough, and say that it doesn't work. I get so many people saying that they tried a different brand and it didn't work when, is it even fair to call that Turk when this is kind of like the gold standard? So if you are in the third camp where you're not going to buy a suboptimal brand, you're not going to underdose it, but you just simply can't afford turkesterone, well, enter Ecdysterone. And in fact, Ecdysterone can be an alternative. I mean, some people just simply don't respond to Turkesterone in general. Or maybe you respond to both, but it's just cheaper to run Ecdysterone, okay? So with Turkesterone, the general dose range that people seem to find effective is 4 to 6 capsules. I personally require 6. I've heard other people require 4. Maybe there are people out there who need less. But, you know, obviously you have to keep in mind that some of these people are just simply getting placebo effect, which is a very real thing. And that's something that I kind of want to address in greater detail in another video, how not everybody who's claiming they're getting results from this stuff is actually getting results from this. They are just, you know, getting the placebo effect. With Ecdysterone, this is cheaper to run. I have only ever needed 3 of these. And from the feedback that I've gotten from other people, there seems to be some diminishing returns with Ecdysterone. So with Turkesterone, you might see absolutely nothing taking less than 4, taking less than 6. But once you do, once you take the adequate dose, you may see very good results. With Ecdysterone, it seems to be much more dose dependent and very much kind of diminishing returns. So people who take 4, 5, 6, probably unnecessary, or you might get a little bit better results taking 4 versus 3 or 3 versus 2. But usually you can dose this on the lower end and you'll get results. Okay, so that's what's going on in terms of dosing, other than just simply saying how much you should take, which is usually in the, I would say 2 to 3 is usually what people work with Ecdysterone. And then it's about double that with Turkesterone. Okay, so the only other thing about that is that please take them one at a time, spaced throughout the day as much as you can. If you take all of them at once, it's not going to yield the same results. I have, you know, done this myself. Many other people have reported the same thing to me, to the point where, you know, that's just what I recommend. One at a time throughout the day. If you can't do that, you know, I literally just stick mine in my pocket when I go to work, and then I just take it throughout the day. So do what you got to do, but I think it makes a big difference. So just keep that in mind. Okay, now, what do these actually do? Obviously, they help build muscle. Both of them do. Turkesterone seems to be more skewed towards building strength. You can get very good strength increases pretty much immediately, and also just the ability to actually build muscle, build strength when you're on this is increased. So I've noticed strength gains are better. And I've also noticed, for me personally, I do respond better to Turkesterone than Ecdysterone. I think it's just simply because it's more powerful in general, but that's what I've noticed for myself. And so the muscle that I gain on this is better. Now, again, I do have to dose it higher. With Ecdysterone, it seems to give less of an immediate kind of strength increase, but the endurance increase seems to be pretty substantial. So I can actually lift more from, in terms of like an AMRAP, like let's say I do 315 for as many reps as I can on bench press. I have added Ecdysterone back into the mix and like immediately increased my AMRAPs. Clearly I'm not like gaining that much strength that quickly, because it doesn't really transfer over into a 1 rep max. That's much more so, you know, kind of an endurance type of thing. Cardio on this, which I've not done cardio in a long time because I'm bulking. Cardio was insane when I was on this. I've had a lot of people report that to me as well. Your ability to push yourself in cardio is fantastic. So that's one reason why cutting on this could be beneficial. No, I do not recommend cutting on either of these, just because if you want to maximize your results, you know, you should be bulking in general. But Ecdysterone is cheaper to run, and if it increases your cardio, if it makes your AMRAPs better, this could be more beneficial for a cut. So that's probably the one I would recommend in that situation. But it gives you better endurance. A lot of people, including myself, get much better vascularity. Like my vascularity on Ecdysterone currently at about 255 pounds is better than it was 15 pounds ago when I wasn't taking it. Okay, so it's just, I don't know what's going on there. I don't know the mechanism of action and why this seems to be the case, but this is probably a higher ceiling, more strength, potentially more muscle if you do respond. This is more endurance, more gym performance, cardio, stuff like that. And, you know, depending on which one you want, you might choose one over the other. I personally love to stack them because I can get the benefits of both by stacking them. Now, this seems counterintuitive. I just tried it because I got a lot of recommendations from people to do it. Other people had tried it. I started trying it, and it is better. Stacking. So I do 3 and 3 of these. So 3 Ecdysterone, 3 Turkesterone. That works better for me than just 6 Turk. Obviously, it works better than 3 Ecdysterone. And that's what I'm probably going to be doing from now on because I just love it. It gives me the benefits of both. Seems like I'm making the best results that I ever have while I've been doing that. And so I'm a big fan. So hopefully that answers everybody's questions in terms of dosing, in terms of, you know, which brands you might want to go for or might not want to go for, you know, dosing frequency, you know, which one should you pick, stacking them. Hopefully that answered everybody's questions in that general field. If you have any more, write them down below. I might make another video addressing more common questions, but those are the ones that I get the most. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that. I'll keep you updated, and I'll talk to you soon.